Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? I wanted to do another video and talk about mind control. Now, foremost, I think this will be the foremost groundbreaking video on mind control, considering that I am a mind control victim by the CIA since I was a child, and I've undone my programming, and I'm about to explain the whole process of it so other people out there can start doing it too, and the CIA will be screwed. Now, first of all, I want you to understand that mind control, the CIA has been doing it in two ways now. They have been doing it with taking children at the age of 2, sexually torturing them with witchcraft, rape, and other horrific things. And then in the last, I'll say about 20 years, they started doing the nano mind control. Now, what I mean by nano mind control is the CIA, NSA, DARPA, they designed a technology of nanos that was given access to go through the stargates. Now, through my deprogramming, what I've come to understand is that this nano that they designed, they needed a form of communication. And the form of communication that they designed was a nano communication device. And this device worked so well, they actually started implementing it and using it on mind control and time travel. Now, mind control and time travel are two very dangerous things. Now, before I get into that, I'm going to explain to you exactly how this apparatus works. The CIA, NSA, witches, warlocks, enforcers, handlers, they have what you call shooters. And they are not typical shooters. What they are they shoot demonic spells at you, and particularly aimed at the back of your head, at your brain stem. And what they do is they shoot nano bullets that you really can't feel. You can't really, it's just, unless you're really trained, like I am, like I've learned that I am, you won't even notice the difference. And these things are so deadly, they can kill you, literally, in a matter of seconds by taking over the whole process of your brain. So you're completely under their control and you have no control, and you lose basically what I call a driver. The driver is the forward personality that mostly everybody sees and knows of a mind control victim. Now, what this nano does is it attaches itself to your brain stem, goes up your brain stem, through your pineal gland, and out through your pineal gland into the different parts of your brain. Now, the CIA and NSA, they have put up cell phone towers, they have put up all this advanced technology with Tempest, so they can actually read your body. Now, what I mean by read your body is they have microwave weapons, and Tempest, who is specifically designed to do this, and along with Echelon. Echelon is an information gathering machine that went online in 1974, which I suspect they used alien technology combined with other computer technology and made their first secret supercomputer. So, or excuse me, not 74, 1954. Let me correct that. So Echelon's been online since then, and Tempest came after. So Tempest has all of this crazy technology where with a satellite or with EEG machines, with handlers, your next door neighbors or whatever, through your electromagnetic field in your body, they can read basically what your body is doing, where you are, what you're thinking, because every thought has a resonance. Okay, people? Every thought, everything you think has a frequency. If you think hate, if you think love, if you think lust, if you think I'm going to kill you, it all has a frequency. So what they've done is they designed a system, especially for people like me, to keep mind control victims under control. Is basically they all around me, I put their license plates up on Facebook, and I'll put their license plates under this video too. The people across the street, the people next door to me. The guy next door to me is a warlock. He is an enforcer, witchcraft, and basically he shoots these things at me all day long, along with his wife and his child, who they're training to be another handler and enforcer, and I'm sure that child practices on other kids. Now, what I want you to understand is the whole process of what these gang stalkers actually do. They map you. What I mean is, they don't just brain map you. They actually try to get in your head, listen to your thoughts, record your thoughts, and while recording your thoughts, specifically record the energy signature of that thought. So then, once that thought is completely recorded, when you think this or that, it has an energy frequency signature to it. Now, this technology was specifically developed in the Stargate program so other off-world agents could communicate back home. So I want you to know that the range of this communication is pretty much basically the range of the heart. Now, if you've never read the Heart's Code explains to you that the heart has its own frequency, and every single beat has a magnetic pulse, and this pulse goes around the earth at a matter of milliseconds. It's very fast. And so everyone's hearts are communicating within this heart bubble, and this is the natural progression of how we are. So the mind can communicate even further, and its signals can communicate. Many other scientists have ran many experiments on how far the brain can communicate. When they finally sent the real rocket to the moon, not the first faked one, but when they sent the real one, they did brain experiments on the astronauts and seeing if they could put mental messages back and forth through specific things. They were given an envelope. It was highly disclosed. They were told to think certain things at certain times, and to do variations on them, and basically it worked, because the people back home at Earth, which were the people that now we call remote viewers, and they're also the CIA pushers, this was the start of them. Now, the CIA pushers are basically warlocks and witches. They are the casters. They cast sleep spells on you. They cast demonic spells on you. They push their demonic thoughts inside your brain while brain mapping is going on, so they can specifically make a pattern loop, so they can push this loop inside of you anytime and reinstate this memory. This is called CIA pushing and CIA remote view, CIA witchcraft. So I want people to also understand how deep this goes, because I'm about to go down the rabbit hole where nobody's ever gone, because I've been spending time delving into my own mind and fighting this CIA mind control to get at who I am, what I was trained to do, what I know, how intelligent I really am, and how they dumb down the person that everyone knows as Zacchaeus, because they're really afraid of what I know and who I am and what I've always been able to do. Now, I want you to understand that they've made this into a game. And for all you police and all you other operatives that aren't under mind control and really need to know this, like Laurel Aston said, she's a victim of mind control and rape by Stephen Binion and many other sick, horrific pedophiles in the CIA. I want you to understand these kids with these people, these warlocks that are around me, these gatekeepers and these enforcers that are all around me in Mexico, because, you know, they have to keep me and Miss Aston under control, because she's in another room. She's basically been doing the same thing I've been doing, is trying to undo her mind control, but I'm much more further than she is. But she's still working at it, and they're still attacking her night and day with witchcraft, putting curses on our food, making our food rot. I mean, we can't even have food in the refrigerator more than 2 days, and it rots. You know, they're casting rot spells on our food, and sending parasites into our food. So when we eat the food, the demonic parasites go into our body, keeps our body deteriorating and not being healthy. This is what they do. So I want you to understand the whole process, because I'm going to break it all down in this video. So I want you to understand these kids. First of all, these demonic little kids, every single one of them, they should be done with. Because what they are demonic entities that have been brought back into this world, and the CIA handlers and pushers are retraining them to do what they did before, you know, they got shot or killed or lost some arm. Now, I'm going to explain to you what they do. When they bring back these demonic kids, it's called soul catching, demon catching. And they actually capture a demon that has fallen, that has been vanquished, and tries to bring, or actually they bring it back into a child. And then with these enforcer games and mental mind control games, and they teach these kids how to be sexual deviants starting at the age of 2. If they're not a victim, if they're a demon reincarnate, they are sick and deprived degenerates. by the age of 5 years old, and they love assaulting other children. This is what they do. This is what their parents train them to do, and so the demon starts to take over that child again, because it was bred in a sacrificial ritual where demon catching basically is they will have a Masonic shrine. They will take an innocent child with an innocent soul and put it on one pentagram on the sacrifice altar. Then there are people having an orgy, specifically 2 or 3 men inside a woman having sex, and at the time of orgasm on the pentagram they kill the innocent child, and then the sacrifice is done, and then the demon goes into the witch or the carrier of the demon, and so that's how they rebirth a demonic child. That's demon catching, soul catching. I've never heard anybody break that down, but this is something that I've learned from dealing with these evil motherfuckers, because my family is very psychic. My great-great-grandmother was a white voodoo witch, and she dealt with these people in New Orleans. So it's in my blood to understand how they work, and they have been basically trying to control me because they knew who my grandmother was and they knew what she did to them. She hated them. She was a killer and a hunter of them. So now this part of me is starting to wake up and starting to understand her knowledge because it is in me. So I want you to understand the process of what they do and what these evil little kids are around us. Now I'm also going to explain to you what a devil tongue is. See, witches and the CIA, they know, and Lucas and all these other people know, and you people know what a devil tongue is. You just call it something else. You call it, in Star Wars, it's called the Force. You know, when the Jedi says, "Oh, you don't have to worry about this. You will see this." You don't see, when they use that, that's witchcraft. It's called a devil's tongue. Now, these children, when they're sitting outside your window, la 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 la, playing in the pool, just la 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 la, they're not playing. They're practicing their devil witchcraft art. They're practicing throwing demonic spells at you with their voices. I am not kidding. It's the same thing as a Jedi mind trick and what you've seen in Star Wars, and it's real. So when these kids are out playing, their minds, they're demonic entities, people. And I want you to know that they can throw spells on you by just, they don't have to say the name of the spells, they can think it. And it still hits you in a subliminally subconscious way. So I want you to understand these are the kids. They're demonic kids. And I'm going to say it, they should all fucking get a bullet. I hate demons. Because all they're going to do is grow up and continue doing the same thing that got them in this reality and this world in the first place, which is sacrificing innocent children. They're training them to do this. So, also I want you to understand, let me go back to the communications part of the shooters and the nanotechnology. The nanotechnology specifically is combined with nanotechnology, the most advanced nanotechnology facility that they're letting us know of that's not an underground facility is in Berkeley. We all know about CIA running, Hollywood and Hollywood witches, and the wood that a witch burns under her kettle to cast spells, people, is called Hollywood. If you didn't know that, now you know, and you understand why it's called Hollywood and why the CIA and witchcraft are so rampant in LA. So I want you to understand the nanotechnology. This nanomite will be shot at you by these shooters that drive by your home, have your brain frequency, have your body frequency, and basically they shoot this little nano out at you, and it hits you in the back of the head. The nano goes into your brain through the brain stem, cracks it, just goes in, okay? And then through your pineal gland, and then lets out all of this goo poison, which are demonic goos that have been programmed and told what to do and where to go and blah, 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 blah. And when your programming, mind control programming, breaks down, this is how they reinstate it from a distance now. They'll hit you with one of these nano bullets, and then the goo will go into your brain and sit in specific parts of your brain where it's told to sit, through EEG machines and through microwave weaponry and through brain mapping. Now, I want you to understand what blocking is. To block means to not let through. So I want you to understand also what goo is. Goo, G-U, is an ancient Chinese poison that is made from the most poisonous venom of the most poisonous insects on earth. They put them all in a jar, and whichever insect or bug or whatever, scorpion or black widow or a tarantula, put them all in the same jar, and whichever one is not dead at the end of the battle is the one that has the goo, the strongest poison. So they'll take this poison and then cast demonic spells on it, and then they'll take it into a scientific lab, take a little nano piece of it, put it into a nanomite, and then put it in a shell encasing. And then this thing, it's capable of going through walls, people. So I want you to understand that you're dealing with metaphysical, interdimensional travel and entities and things. So with the goo poison, it's able to shift through walls. And they know this. So when you combine witchcraft and science, you can really start to get a clear picture of what I'm saying. So then the goo goes in, and through brain mapping, it is told where to go. Now, what I mean by where to go is, say you have the ability to understand science, and they want to take it from you. Say you have incredible martial arts abilities, and they want to take it from you. Say you have incredible singing abilities, and they want to take it from you. Say you have just whatever, and for some reason, you can't access it. Now, this is the essence of mind control, and this is what they do when they build assassins, and this is what they do when they build assassin altars. So I want you to understand that within this, they'll take a mind control victim, per se like Miss Aston, Laurel Aston, because she's explained this in her videos. As a child, shatter the child's memory through sexual torture, through sexual rape, and sexual breeding to make them breed more demonic kids, because that's another thing that they do. They'll take a child and at the same time, try to breed a demon with that child. And so that innocent child it basically breeds a demon that comes out of it, or her. So I want you to understand blocks and what they try to do when they don't want you talking about it. I mean, as I speak right now, they're literally hitting me with trying to hit me with goo blocks because they don't want me to talk about it. But it's not going to work, guys. My memory's not going anywhere. So I want you to understand that they use the goo and they use nanos and demonic possession to go in and instate triggers. Now, a trigger, what's a trigger? A trigger on a gun, a mind trigger. A mind trigger is something that can be instated or uninstated. So basically, I want you to understand that every frequency, every tone, every sound can be broken down into a mathematical formula, which can be broken down into a code for a computer, which nowadays, since we have Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi is going through your body, people, it's going through your brain. We have satellite terrorism, we have synthetic telepathy. I mean, I can go on and on about it. We have silent sound, which has been around since 1974, which they don't talk about, which is another brainwashing, mind control, assassin technique that was heavily used since 1974 in secret. How they trigger an assassin or de-trigger an assassin and give an assassin specific orders. So you can be sitting there having tea and coffee and all of a sudden be hit with silent sound or a microwave weapon or an encoding through Wi-Fi telling you, go kill this person, blah, 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 here's the code, and boom, you're gone. So one of the things that I learned is their password. Now, speaking with Laurel Aston, when I figured it out from trolling the CIA with my mind, because they like to, be in my head, I found out their password is Simon Says. Simon Says, people. How many of you ever played Simon Says? Simon says this, Simon says that, Simon says this. Well, when I told Laurel Aston this, she got this look on her face, and she said, "Wow, her CIA handlers used to play Simon Says with her all the time." So now you know what I'm getting at. Simon Says, people. Now, you take a game with a kid, install Simon Says programming into the altars. Simon Says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's the first code. And then that triggers basically, an altar. Or Simon says this, or Simon says that, or whatever they want. Or Simon says, suck my dick. That triggers the sex slave. So I want people to understand how the CIA has done this. And with me actually revealing this right now, because this is the basis of all of their mind control games, they're fucked. because they train all their witches and assassins this way. They can't go back and undo what has been done. This programming takes a long time. And the key word, as Simon says, to all their gatekeepers, to all their enforcers, to all their key makers, they all use Simon Says. Now, what I want you to understand is what the gatekeepers and enforcers and key makers use. Gatekeeper. A gatekeeper is the keeper to the whole unit. Everybody's mind control, keys and codes and everything. He's the gatekeeper for the whole CIA mind control unit. Mine is living right across the street from me. I already put his license plate up, and when I did it yesterday, I was heavily attacked, and I know it's him and his whole family. He's trained him and his whole family to be gatekeepers, and his little niece or nephew, that's not a little girl. I mean, she may be short, but she's not a little girl. I know how to spot a fucking demon when I see a fucking demon. So, anyway, that's the gatekeeper's job. So then, you have the key makers, which the key makers live next door to him, and they have the same internet company as me, and they hack into my computer. And when they moved into the neighborhood, they're also Americans. You know, they gave a nice little show like, oh, hi, neighbor, you're moving in, blah, 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 blah. And they gave my next door neighbor the Masonic handshake. And because he's been having problems, because he's an enforcer, he can't handle me. He's a stupid fucking low-level warlock. So, and the gatekeeper couldn't handle me with the enforcer, so they had to bring in key makers. So the key makers that live next door to the gatekeeper, which is across the street from me, his wife's a hacker. And he, the man, I don't know their names, I put their license plates up, he's a weekend warrior. He has his motorcycle in the front yard. Now, if you know about the weekend warriors are basically the upscale Hell's Angels. Hell's Angels drug traffic, rape children, pedophilia, all that stuff, and they like to ride their bikes, but they have money. They're not the low-life drug-dealing scumbag Hell Angels, muscle men, enforcers of the CIA. They're more of the upscale guys that have money and the weekend warriors. That's what he is. So, I want you to really understand their roles and what they are, because around people like me and Miss Axton, who's an ex-CIA assassin, these are the people that they always put around us. So my next door neighbor, the enforcer, his job basically is to put curses on Miss Aston and me, him, his wife, and his daughter. They all take turns. They're all practicing. They're teaching the little girl how to do this. So basically what they do is they cast spells on our food. They cast spells on all of our products in the house. I mean, any way to gain entrance and access into the body, to curse the body. And then they use parasitical, demonic goo worms to do this in their spells. This is standard operation of what the CIA does to mind control victims, and especially people on a level as high as me. And with me breaking this down, you should understand who I am and how much I know, and that their programming doesn't work, and how fucking scared that they are even as I speak. So, anyway, getting back to enforcers and handlers. The people living next door to me, the lady's a handler. Her husband is a enforcer, Roberto. He drives a Porsche, black Porsche, and a gray Mustang. I'll put his cars up, and I'll take pictures of the people across the street, and I'll put their cars up too in this video so everybody can see. Actually, I already did. So anyway, I want to blow the CIA code out of the water so these people have no place to go, because they don't have any place to go now. Because I've been doing this for a few days, they've been cut off from the CIA. Because once you go public like this, and the people that I know, from France to Romania to Russia, oh, they're fucking done. Nobody wants to have anything to do with them. But see, the CIA is so arrogant. They'll keep sending in people, but they're not going to tell them, we're sending you in, but it's a no-win situation. Because of the amount of agents that I have had killed by trying to fuck with me. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you straight up. I've had mountains of CIA agents done away with, MI6 agents done away with, from Paris to Romania to America. And they keep sending in these idiots, these arrogant witches that are so arrogant because they know witchcraft. They think nothing can touch them. Well, I hate to tell you this, but you're all dead. And I love saying it. I mean, I'm not going to lift a finger on you. Because the way I expose your shit, because I go in and I learn more about it and I expose more of it, and it just makes it easier for the hitmen that really fucking hate you to just do away with you. I don't have to lift a finger. Welcome to my world. So anyway, I want people to understand exactly how this goes. Now I'm going to get into their little game, okay? This is how they teach their little demonic kids, people. This is serious. This is very real. And it's a mental telepathy game. All witches have to be telepathic. My family is very telepathic. I'm not going to lie. My family is very psychic. Me, myself, I am a twin. I had a twin brother that was sacrificed in a ritual when I was a kid. I remember all of these things, and they basically told my mother, or brainwashed my mother, to believe that my brother had died. So I'm super psychic. These people pay an obscene amount of money for twins because they know twins are automatically super psychic. So all of their pretty much super soldiers and whatever are all twinned. And usually what they do is they'll kill the one of the other twins so the one twin can have all the power. Now I want them to know that I know that they did this. I want everybody to know that I know that they did this. Now, the game that they play is called the Seekers game. They're always seekers this, seekers that. Now, I had never heard of the Seekers until I kept hearing this word going through my head of these witches saying, oh, he's a seeker. He must be a seeker. And I'm like, what the fuck's a seeker? So I go ask them what a seeker is. And she's like, yeah, the CIA seekers, seekers of Satan. And I was like, whoa. So, if you somehow hear this name going through your head, seekers, what are you seeking? This and this and this. It's the CIA's mind control game for their little demonic children to train them how to be telepathic and be psychic killers. Literally. So, I want you to understand the whole process of the game, because I went through it. You know, I destroyed it. Basically, if you play, it's a game where they can claim your soul. You die. If you're not good enough, you will die. It's as simple as that. So the process is they manipulate the mind, and they give you they start giving you a big extravagant show. Say like, I don't know, say like Transformers, and you want to be Bumblebee or a big bad Decepticon. Well, okay, so then let's get into Dungeons and Dragons. Has anybody played that game? I never played that game, but I watched people playing it growing up. Now, the whole process of Dungeons and Dragons is designing your character. Anybody play video games that do this? Of course, Final Fantasy, list goes on and on and on. So basically, you design your character. What does your character have? What abilities does it have? What can it do? Blah, 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 blah. So during this process, you're hooked up to basically the CIA synthetic telepathy computer Tempest. And Tempest is recording all this. She is the head of the Seeker game. So then you have your character and your powers and blah, 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 blah. And then you go around and then you battle other Seekers. Literally, you battle other adults, you battle other young kids, and mentally, it's a mental game. It's basically, if you were to take Dungeons and Dragons and put it in the heads of like millions of CIA dumbass people, that's what it is. But literally, they're using this to train the mind and to train psychic abilities and try to unlock parts of the mind and powers of the mind. Now, I'm going to explain to you the really diabolical part of why it is so important that they keep people like me and Miss Aston under their control and around CIA agents. The Seeker game with multiples can be accessed on a subconscious level if you have multiples within you, which I did have multiples within me. Miss Aston has a multiple or multiples within her. They were programmed by the CIA. So these multiples are accessed randomly, even without us knowing, in our subconscious, even when we're conscious. They're playing this game through us. So once you get up to higher levels, and Miss Aston is a Shaolin martial arts kung fu master. She was this when she was a child. So if you say you want to be a martial arts kung fu master, you can't just make somebody a martial arts kung fu master. You have to actually have access to a martial arts kung fu master. You're starting to see what I'm getting at, right? So then when they're playing this game and they're fighting, where do they get the ability of the martial arts kung fu master? Well, they access the subconscious of Miss Aston through Wi-Fi, blah, 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 whatever. And then they kind of technically let the new player borrow that ability. So now you see what I'm getting at. You can basically create a mind control assassin these days at a flip of a switch. If they have the gatekeepers and everything's running smoothly through the subconscious, they can actually take a person's conscious mental training as an assassin and pretty much beam it into somebody else temporarily and give them that ability to accomplish a mission. This is what I want people to understand, what the CIA are doing with their technology now. In a nutshell, their secret game is exposed. I mean, they have secret police, they have secret enforcers, they even have a big entity named Demonic, who's supposed to be like the big gatekeeper over that realm. But it's dead, I killed it. So I'm not going to really get into it. And once you understand it's not really a game, because these things, if they can't control you, they'll kill you. That's what they're designed for. This is why you see like CIA agents, ex-CIA agents just break down and go on shooting sprees, or put a bullet in their head, or just, kill somebody out of the blue and then they're in jail. This is what they do, people. Now, I want you to understand the alarming thing is that if you're not a mind control assassin and you're a weak-minded person and they're using my mental abilities and Miss Aston's mental abilities on your weak mind, you have no chance against that. None. At all. I mean, you have no idea how strong a master's mind is. I mean, you think that Star Wars Jedi stuff was something? It's a joke compared to what we can do. And they know this. This is why they're so afraid of me. This is why they're so afraid of her. And the fact of the matter is that I'm explaining all of this in very graphic detail. I know they're shitting their pants. I mean, I heard my enforcer handler next door neighbor kick the wall again. He's always doing that when his shit doesn't work. He's probably a cokehead. Most of them are, because it takes a lot of strenuous hours to keep up with me and Miss Ass and two people, and they're continuously going back and forth trying to figure out new spells, new codes, new things, new ways to lock this down, to lock this down. Oh, he's thinking this. Oh, he's developed this. Do we get a print of that? Okay, what part of that mind did it come from? Okay, send another goo demon here. Shut that down. Oh, he's thinking this. Shut that down. This is what they do. Literally. And then the fact of the matter is, they're getting paid to do this with my fucking money. Let me explain that again. This operation is being funded with my fucking money. This operation with these CIA Nazi handlers is being funded with Miss Aston's fucking money. Now, what I mean by our money is Miss Aston, she's worth an obscene amount of money because of what she's done for the CIA and in Hollywood. And they literally had to put a rapist / warlock / pedophile on her by the name of Stephen Binion to take away and funnel away millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars from this woman, her whole estate. Then they got a hideous rape baby out of her, and then tried to say, oh, she's incompetent, and so, this is Mr. Billion's rape baby, and we're going to give all the money to this fucking rape baby. Dr. DeVay, I hope you get fucking bullets for being part of this. Because Dr. DeVay in South Padre. That's where she lives. Port Isabella is where her office is. Tried to introduce this rape baby back into Miss Aston's life, while she was getting paid by our funds or her funds, and possibly my funds too, because I have a huge fund that I was told about by my uncle, who's ex-CIA, Mr. Ernest Rothschild, which is spelled Rauthschilds, from the real black Moor Olmec Rothschilds, not the German Nazi thieving pedophile scumbag Rothschilds. That means Red Shield in German, that is spelled Rothschilds, which they even stole that name. So, I want you to understand that you're listening to actually a sovereign. I am a sovereign prince because of my bloodline, because of my black Olmec, Blackfoot, Indian heritage. My people were in America before these bastardized, rapist, fucking heathenistic Europeans. My people are descendants from the first world travelers, and still they're trying to put out all this bullshit that the first man didn't come from Africa. Well, the fact of the matter is the first man came from everywhere, and it sure as fuck wasn't you, Nazis. And they can't stand it, but it's the truth. So what they do is they knew about me before I was born. And so they take people like me, sovereign royalty, and turn us into assassins, child assassins. So guess what, CIA? This video is going to kill you. I'm killing you with words. How fucking deadly do you think I am? Think about that and understand that these people around us, all of them, this is a heavy CIA territory. I'm in Cancun, Mexico. All these fucking white/white Mexican bullshit motherfuckers, they're dead. All of them. Because they're all here doing what they've always done to Mexican people. Sacrificing to their demonic god, doing whatever the fuck they want, and walking on them like they're trash, basically. Since the days of the Nazis came in through South America. Need I remind you, Mexican public, what they did with the Iran-Contra scandal? How many towns did they slaughter of Mexican people to control the drug trade? I mean, need I remind you of the drug trade that you think the Mexican cartel is in control of, and they're not. The Mexican cartel, they're fucking mind controlled. All they do is they get these stupid Mexican guys that think they're untouchable, give them big houses, like in this area where I'm living. My house isn't big, it's a townhome. But they take these stupid fucking Mexican guys, give them money, give them women, have them run prostitution rings also for the CIA pedophile introduction into the CIA assassin network. And then they take these guys and they let them have all this money and this power and amount all this wealth, pay off the politicians, and then when it gets just too obscene, they send in their dirty fucking federal cops to confiscate the money for their politicians who are just sitting back waiting for the money to come through them. It's a transition. Drugs have to be imported and exported, then sold, and then the money washed and cleaned, and then the money taken back into the system. You get it? This is Mexico. This is the way the drug cartel is being run from Mexico to Iran, Iraq, the Middle East, however you want to put it. And these motherfuckers are sitting here trying to tell us, oh, there's no money, there's a crisis. Last time I looked in Iraq and Iran, you were forcing those people to grow massive, massive, massive poppy fields, even more so than they were in the first place before all this started. And then you have soldiers guarding all of this fucking heroin. Mr. Skull and Bones Bush that actually killed a bunch of innocent Americans in 9/11. But see, they don't want people to open their eyes and look at mind control. This is mind control. These people will go on TV, their TV channels, and lie directly to your face, and you'll eat it up. Why is that? Because they're tapping directly into your subconscious, basically saying, accept this bitch, you're my bitch. And that's about it. But see, now, it's not working. Because things are breaking down. Like this video that I'm doing right now is going to resonate. Even as I speak, it resonates. Their end. Because it is the truth. It is coming from the gut. It is coming from the heart. Because I'm sick of it. I want my money. I want Miss Aston's money. I want to start living well and start being able to help people. Anyone that I choose to help. It's the money is so much, it's just obscene. I mean, last time in the 80s that they said how much the Rothschilds are worth, it was over $800 trillion net worth. That's enough money to food and clothe every human on the face of this earth 5 lifetimes over. Yeah. So next time you think about giving the Windsors or the Rothschilds or the CIA Nazi scumbags some respect, think about that. Because they deserve none. All they deserve is a fucking bullet. Because every day that you sit and do nothing, that's another innocent child either sacrificed by them in a ritual or starvation. That's what this is about. And people don't get it. They want to, oh, we got time. Let's wait a week. Let's wait a few minutes. Let's wait an hour. Well, you people, you're with them. And you're going to die like them. Because there are forces in this world and forces on this earth that know every fucking thing you have done. And you will be judged accordingly to what you do. As God is my witness. So, now you understand the seeker game, the CIA seekers. The CIA seekers of Satan, you are fucking dead. All of you. Your bloodlines, your families, every fucking one of you that celebrated the last solstice, celebrate all the solstices, all your wicked shit that you do, that when shit gets too far out of your control, guess what they do? Sacrifice. They try to sacrifice kids to get more power, to steal a child's life force because they have no life force. They have no power, people. They don't have power. I mean, what do you call a being that literally has to sacrifice a child to have power? This is what they are. And them, their children, their whole fucking bloodline is going to be wiped out, annihilated. No Nazis. You're not going to go back underground and try to become Christians or religious people or bullshit motherfuckers like Alex Jones or the motherfucker you got sitting in the consulate, with WikiPad. All of them done. Because you can't hide from the truth. And you think you can, but you can't. All your brain hacking, all of your CIA, NSA promise, oh, everything's okay, everything's fine, we got it under control. That is what they always say. But the fact of the matter is, you know that a lot of them are disappearing. Either they're running, or they're dead, or they're dead when they tried to run. Either or. So, thank you for your time. I hope I brought some clarity. If you have any questions, I don't know, contact me on Facebook, Dismantle the Central Intelligence Agency, X-Formers. I would love to hear from, I don't know, people, what they think of this, and for you fucking trolls that have nothing but negative shit to say, fuck you. If you post anything on my post, I can guarantee you will be tracked down and hunted down and checked out, and if you are with them, you will be killed. It's like that. So, trolls, be warned. Peace.